Sometimes how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
Well,
I am not an African American.
You're an Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I would slap you.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Uniting the racists with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I've said over and over again, I don't know one city, state, or country where you have the top people being black and everybody and their mama want to go there and live. But instead, everybody and their mama want to get out of there. I don't know of a place like that. And for the last 22 years, I've been asking people to name one place in this great nation, one city, state, county, area, whatever, where the government is black and you want to go and live there. Or if you're living there, you're happy to be there. You're not trying to get out. And I've not had one person to name a spot. I wish it wasn't so. I wish that people can tell me this city, this state, this place, but no one can name a place because most black people just don't have it in them to do it. They cannot lead for the good. It's just not there. They have a socialist mentality. They don't have that drive to make things good, but they have a drive to destroy it. Every area that I'm aware of now, there may be something, just because I'm not aware of it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? But every suburb or every city or that white people have moved out of and black people moved into, when blacks moved there, they were beautiful areas to live. Safe, green grass, house painted, businesses everywhere. And when white people pack up and leave and blacks take over from the government down, it goes to hell in a handbasket. And it's due to the lack of moral character. It has nothing to do with white people taking the money with them or blah, blah, blah. Because as human beings, we can all do better in life. We can paint our houses, we can cut our grass, we can make our children do the right thing, we can start a business, we can keep a neighborhood safe. And most people, racists, are doing it, except for the blacks. Let's go down to 1010, our affiliate down in Atlanta, Georgia, a 50,000-watt station. Everybody and their mama listen down there and around that area there. My friend Mel, Merry Christmas.
Peterson, you know what? The state of Georgia are one of the homes that my second God lived.
Your second God?
That died for you. That died, that was assassinated. Anything that come out of your mouth as a lie.
Who is your second God?
My second God are Martin Luther King.
And your first God is who?
My first God is our president. My second God is Martin Luther King that died.
Right on.
The white man assassinated, killed him because he...
Well, my God is not dead.
Your God...
He's alive.
It's white on the inside and a Negro on the outside.
Hey,
so
Mel.
I just want to let you know that.
According to ABC News...
One state in this union that people are not leaving is Georgia.
Georgia.
Negro.
Mel. Hey, Mel. Don't go. Please don't go. Oh, Jesus. I wish it wasn't this way, but it is what it is. Black Americans, not all, but most, do not serve the true God. They'll give you scriptures until the cows come home, but God is far away from them. Let's see here. Let's go back to the busy phones. Let's get it off your chest. This person is Captain Black out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Let's see here. Captain Black out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Welcome to the show, sir.
Brother Jesse, how are you doing?
All is well.
I just want to thank you for all that you have done And my statement today is that I feel we should take Black History Month and rename it American History Month. Because like you said, and I agree with you, I'm black as an ace of spades, but 100% American on the inside.
I agree with that because those things only divide us as a people. Also, it gives the impression that we as black people are not, this is not our country. You know, it kind of makes you feel like a visitor or something, you know?
That's what I work with young men, and I tell them that you've got to stop thinking like an outcast and start thinking like a citizen. When socialists allow you to act like a stranger in your country, they make and manipulate you into criminality, drug addiction, they own your vote, they make you opposed to free enterprise and everything that will lead to success in life. And we have to oppose it. You know, you can't trade the slave shackles of the past for the political slave shackles of the present. You know, it's a zero-sum game.
That's right. It's a wicked way, too, of dividing and conquering, and that's what they do with that. That's why I say that our battle is not a physical one, but a spiritual one. It's clearly a battle between good and evil, and there are those people who represent evil. Evil is operating through them as good is operating through others.
Exactly.
And I believe that if we could organize enough men around the country, we can start to turn things around, really, because the power is in the man. And if the man is doing the right thing, the women are going to follow.
Precisely. If you have a sorry man, you have a sorry woman, you have a sorry family, and consequently a sorry community.
That's right. Have a good weekend, Captain Black out of New Orleans, Louisiana. I appreciate your call.
My pleasure.
All right now. 888-775-3773. Down to Houston, Texas, and talk to Amir. Amir, welcome to the show. Thank you for calling.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
All is well, sir.
Hey, you know, I was just, I've been listening to you for a couple of years, and one thing that I really agree with you as far as the black community is this anger that a lot of us have, and I think it's like ingrained in our culture. I noticed that if they would. I think, just wake up one day and say, I'm going to get rid of the anger, they will see that the ones, too, that are keeping them angry at whatever, America or whatever, are flying around in America, where, on private jets, wearing $2,000 suits, It's just, and they can't see that, I hear black men talk all the time or these black leaders talk about, there's no opportunities in America, and, white people wake up every day with some type of agenda to keep us down. And my first question is, well, how did you do it?
There you go. That's right.
But people they don't see that. How did you make it? How did you go to law school? How did you get on CNN or MSNBC? You took advantage of these same opportunities that you're telling black people that there are none, and some people just can't see that. And I think that, that anger is preventing them from seeing that. Just wake up one day and 100%. Yeah, just wake up one day and give white people the benefit of the doubt. You'll realize that, they don't have no agenda. They want you to succeed. And it's funny, even the ones that do succeed, it's like their only motivation to become a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or whatever is because they're taught to believe that white people don't want them to be that way.
I know.
And that seems like that's their only motivation.
Yeah.
I hear black people talk to their kids. It's like, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that because, the white man is looking for a reason to put you in jail. That's just ridiculous.
And by saying that, they're teaching their children to hate white folks as well.
Exactly.
They're going to grow up thinking that all thing white people want to do is put me in jail. They want, trying to hold me back. It's a lie. You made such a good point, too. One of the reasons that I started to change in life way back when now is that I started to question these things. If white people are holding me back because I'm black, how is it that Jesse Jackson and his family, Louis Farrakhan, his family, these godless black preachers and their families are doing so well? They have money, they're living in nice neighborhoods, and yet the white people are not holding them back. But most black people don't question that because their anger will not allow them to see it.
No, I agree. Well, thanks for my call. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes,
I just want
sir.
to get that off my chest. I listen to you a lot here on the radio in Houston, so I don't.
I appreciate it, man. You are a wise man.
All right. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
All right, buddy. Thank you. It's a joy, folks, to just listen to men and women who common sense is just there for them. It's like refreshing. really refreshing. And especially, but not only, but especially when it comes out of the black community, when it's coming out of the black community. Wisdom in the black community is like looking for a needle in a haystack. It wasn't always that way. The civil rights movement screwed everything up. The more I realized about that movement, because I was young, I didn't quite understand it, I guess, at the time. But the more I realized what it did to our country, it screwed the country up. It really did. And they're still using that to destroy America. You have some of the meanest, nasty, godless, hard-hearted people in the so-called civil rights movement. It's amazing. And that's why what they have done have not turned out for the good, because they're wicked people and they're still pushing evil. All of these so-called civil rights leaders, they're now older people, they're in these positions of power, and they have hatred for white Americans that's out of this world. They hate our country, and they just want to destroy it. When you see them speak, you hear the lies and see the anger in their eyes. Lawrence, thanks for calling and thanks for holding, sir. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse. Good morning. How are you this morning?
All is well, sir. How are you?
Great. I truly enjoy your program, and you are speaking the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
That's right.
And don't stop speaking the truth. It's just reality. But for some reason, I can't understand the black race in America. I just can't understand it. It's like we take, not we, but it takes one step forward and two steps backward.
Yep.
The Bible says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Yes.
Martin Luther King also said, do not judge a man by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character.
Yes.
Now, I can't understand, especially black Christians that call themselves pastors and prophets, etc. I can't understand how can they support a guy like Obama that is completely against the things of God.
Yeah.
I mean, can you explain that to me? What's going on? What would it take them to see the light or the truth, or to see through what this president is doing?
Well, there are two major things that are preventing most black people from doing the right thing and following people like Obama. One is that not all, of course, but most black people are not born again of the Spirit of God. They have not been born again. They don't have that new nature. Now, they know about God. They heard about him. They read about him. They have shouted about him, but they don't know him because they have not been born again. And they can quote scriptures until the cows come home, but that doesn't mean you know God. You just know about the guy. And secondly, for the last 50 years, they've been brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized. And they have been made to put their color before their character. And they have been spoiled by the government and brainwashed by their so-called black leaders. So they're into the color thing instead of the character. But the interesting thing is most of them don't know it. It's like their eyes are open, but in reality, they are asleep. And they don't know that the anger that they have is being used against them by the people that they support. And that's why I try to help them and all people to overcome their anger, because when they overcome the anger, see, the anger is of Satan, is all evil. Anger is wickedness. It builds your ego, which is the nature of Satan, and it causes you or prevent you from seeing the light, seeing what is true. And so we got to help them overcome their anger so that they can see that the people they're trusting the most are really their enemies and not their friends. They got to overcome anger. They absolutely cannot see what they're doing.
Hey, Jesse, you explained it real good. Thank you very much for the program.
Yes, sir.
You are doing a good job. You're doing a good work. Keep on doing what you're doing, and I am with you, and you are preaching to the choir, and I am in the pew.
Thank you, buddy.
Jesse,
I appreciate it. You too, Lawrence, from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. 888-77 Jesse. Let's go down to Virginia and talk to Curtis. Curtis, welcome to the show, sir. Thanks for calling, and thanks for holding for so long there. I appreciate it.
That's no problem. I enjoy the show. It's better to hear me or hear you on the phone than on the internet because my internet service is so bad.
Okay.
Captain Black, when he talks to these young men he's dealing with, make sure they understand the power of forgiveness.
Yes.
And the weakness of unforgiveness. Because
that's right.
That is a lot of issues with the black community. They don't have unforgiveness. That spills over into all of their life.
You're absolutely correct. And one of the things that we do at my nonprofit organization, Bond, we have a home for young men. We tutor and counsel these guys. But the first thing that we do is to show them how to forgive, how to overcome that anger. Because if they don't overcome that anger, they may gain a job, they may start a business, they may have a little money after a while, but they're still going to be unhappy people. And so we show them how to forgive. And first, forgive their parents, because 99.999.9, not all the time, but 99.9% of the time, their anger started in their homes first. And it started with their mothers first and not their fathers. And so we get them to look at that, forgive their mothers, forgive their fathers for not being there to protect them from their angry mothers. And once they forgive, Curtis, their whole life, they can see things differently now.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah.
And on that civil rights movement, how it has deteriorated, is because it's about accumulation of power, not of civil rights anymore. So that's why
we don't even need that organization.
Thank you.
It shouldn't even exist in America today.
Right.
But they won't let it go. The ideal of it, they won't let it go because it helped them to stay in power.
That's right.
Anyway, Curtis, thank you, man.
You take care.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
It's a mess. 888-77-JESSE. When I come back, I go straight back to the phones. Everybody and their mama want to get in on this, and it's fine. It is Open Line Friday. Get it off your chest today. Back in a moment.